So we are going to move to Julia Reed and the State of Innovation Challenge. The challenge is sponsored by Career Connect Washington, and Career Connect Washington works statewide to combine classroom learning with practical career experiences for youth and young adults. They emphasize career explore, career prep, and career launch opportunities for our youth. And Julia specifically works with the State of Innovation Challenge that tries to connect students with real world problems and encourages the use of imagination and skill to create innovative solutions to those problems.
Thanks so much, Greg. Thanks for having me, everybody. And this hopefully will be a good follow-on to the discussion on manufacturing. So as Greg mentioned, I'm Julia Reed. I'm a senior consultant with Kinetic West, and I'm here today to talk to you about the State of Innovation Challenge, which is a new virtual career-connected problem-solving challenge that is coming out at the end of this month for middle school, high school, and also it's open to out-of-school youth, youth and re-engagement programs, WIOA eligible youth and open doors programs. This is, I should start by saying what it's not. This is not a big new curriculum you have to teach. This is not a heavy, complex project that has a lot of restrictions. This is something that is flexible, that is intended to support teachers in the work you're already doing, trying to connect with students and to engage young people and give them an opportunity to think about and imagine solutions to the problems facing our state right now. So let me just dive into it. I will go through, and I'm happy to share these slides with Greg afterwards if he wants to share them out with conference attendees. So as I said, the State of Innovation Challenge is a career-connected problem-solving challenge for young people in middle school, high school, and also out-of-school youth. And the goal of the challenge is really to empower youth voice in solving some of Washington's biggest problems. So we are giving young people the mic. We are asking you to think about challenges that the state is facing right now, whether that's how teens can be mentally healthy while social distancing, or how to get healthier, more local foods into school lunches, and maybe how to better distribute school meals now that we're not actually in school buildings for many students, all the way up to thinking about manufacturing and, you know, what do our manufacturing centers look like in the future? How can they be more resilient and safer and maybe more sustainable for the post-COVID-19 world that we will one day enter. State of Innovation Challenge is also encouraging collaboration between teachers and adult advisors. So there's opportunities for teachers to share lesson plans and activities with each other. The challenge can also be done in a club setting or in a CTSO. DECA, YTSA, HOSA, 4-H, you might have seen on the front slide, is a partner in this project. It's going to be doing it with their 4-H students. So teachers or adult advisors to share lesson plans, activities, and other ideas that have worked for them with others across the state. And then also to bring industry and post-secondary into the virtual classroom. So as students are designing solutions to the challenge cases, they'll have opportunities to join industry engagements, kind of like this, Zoom webinar type engagements, with industry leaders from a bunch of different fields across the state, including folks like Silicon Forest Electronics in Vancouver, and Wagstaff, just to give a couple of manufacturing shout outs, and learn more about those careers and also ask those folks questions about how their work is actually going, how they've been impacted by COVID-19. And again, I think the goal of this project is really to kind of elevate youth voice in addressing what's been a really tough year. Our tagline for this is that 2020 has problems and we think youth have solutions. My slightly cheekier tagline for this is that teenagers are not blind and they're not dumb, and they see what's going on around them and they want to have a voice and want to be heard. And so we want to give them through the challenge an opportunity to share their ideas with leaders through the state. Again, this is intended to support work that's already going on in the classroom, in clubs, and hopefully give you an avenue to connect lessons, learning that you're already doing to real world problems and maybe break through some of that Zoom fatigue a little bit, give students a chance to explore career pathways and also an opportunity to be recognized. So at the end of the challenge, we'll be having a sort of awards recognition ceremony where we'll kind of recognize some of the most creative solutions that we've received. You can do the challenge in a very scalable way. To submit a solution, it can take as little as 1 hour. We provide an instructional guide with the information on each of the problem cases, as well as background information that you could share with students. And in as little as an hour, you could have them read, discuss, and create a nano project, which could be just a short Flipgrid video, or you could do a video on another format or email us a short solution. That's just kind of their 2-minute thoughts on the problem. There's micro projects, that's more 1 to 4 weeks. That's, short videos, longer videos, short essays, maybe a short research project where they develop questions and then go out and ask folks in their community and report back on their findings, or an elevator pitch for a business idea that they have related to the solution, all the way up to a macro project. That would be more for students who are in, for example, CTE courses or skill center courses where they can actually manufacture or build something. They could build a model, could build a computer program. You could do this as a service project. You could do a longer research project, more detailed business plan. And again, this is something where we're very connected to a lot of the CTSO clubs. So if you're doing a project for DECA or FFA or 4-H, you could also submit that same project to State of Innovation Challenge. Our requirements are a little bit less stringent. And the challenge is asking students to look at one of 3 case problems. The first one is the food chain. That's really asking young people to think about how can we ensure that every Washingtonian has access to healthy, affordable, and environmentally sustainable food during the pandemic. That gives them an opportunity to explore everything from agriculture careers to restaurants and hospitality careers. There's responding to COVID-19. It's a 2-parter. It's looking at how do we support the mental health of teens and elders while social distancing. That could be everything from social robots that use AI to communicate with people to nurses and doctors and other healthcare careers that help keep patients connected to their families, even though they can't actually see them, all the way to outdoor recreation careers, sports. There's lots of ways to keep connected while also keeping people healthy. And we want to kind of get students' ideas on what they think would be good answers for that. There's a second part to responding to COVID-19 that invites students to consider how we can ensure residents have accurate, actionable, accessible information about COVID. That covers everything from asking students to think about misinformation online, learn about journalism careers and careers in communication, asking them to think about testing, how could testing protocols work better for their communities. That gives them a chance to think about public health careers. A lot of fire departments, emergency services are involved in that work. And also all the way up to work that's happening at the UW, creating COVID exposure notification apps that are going to eventually be something that's nationwide. So it's a great opportunity to learn about computer science, AI, and other STEM activities. Our communities after COVID-19 really looks at how we can help Washington build back from the pandemic in a healthier, more sustainable way. So how could we have better schools? How could we have better educational experiences? How could our manufacturing centers be different? What should we do with urban centers where maybe not all the office buildings are going to be used? If people are moving out of cities and towns into more rural areas as they have more flexibility on where to live and work, for some people, how is that putting an impact on our environment, maybe putting them at greater risk for wildfire impacts, and how can we be thinking about those challenges in the future? So under each of these case challenges, and I don't think unfortunately I'll have time to go through each of them, but there is the case, and then there are smaller problem-solving prompts that give students or youth and their adults that they're working with kind of easier ways to sort of zoom into the problem. So you could be working on the food chain case. Maybe you're thinking about how could you have better school meals, or what would your restaurant do if you were running a restaurant today? Or how could we connect farmers with surplus food to places in our state that are in need of additional food resources? There's questions similarly on responding to COVID-19. And as I said, it covers everything from elder isolation to testing protocols. And similarly on our communities after COVID-19, that's really looking at housing, manufacturing, climate change, school redesign. I'm moving real fast because I'm keeping an eye on the fact I only have 2 minutes left. But basically the challenge has kind of 3 simple steps. So, first you want to plan. So pick the case that you're going to work on and the problem you're going to work on. That could be something each young person could do their own. You could work in groups. A whole class or group project club could do one challenge. You pick your depth. Are you going to do nano responses, micro responses, macro responses, and then develop lessons or activities. So as I said, we provide some instructional guides. We provide videos introducing the cases. We also have office hours available to educators for coaching and for one-on-one support. Then you kind of incorporate the challenge issues into lesson plans or activities you're already doing. You can share those with other educators and adult leaders on OER Commons. You pick what industry engagements will happen. We'll be recording them. So if your students can't join live, they can join and when the time is good for them. And then there will also be opportunities on information on post-secondary pathways on the website, as well as potentially some interactive engagements around that. And then you submit your projects. So there will be submission guidelines. You'd submit them through our website, which is innovationwa.org. And more on that. I see Greg coming in to tell me I'm at time. Okay, last minute. If you're interested in the challenge, please go to our website, www.innovationwa.org. The best thing you can do is sign up for the email list. We will be launching the full website early next week. That will include more information about the challenge. If you're on the email list, you'll be notified when it goes up. So please go and sign up for that. And if you're an educator and you're on OER Commons, you can also sign up for OER Commons page. Okay, still 150, Greg.
That was definitely the Reader's Digest version. So I just want to be clear about one thing for folks who are interested in signing up for it. When you go to innovationwa.org, are you signing up for the program or is that sign up still coming?
So if you go to innovationwa.org, you sign up for the outreach list. There isn't sort of an official, that's sort of how you indicate, I'm interested in this and I would like to learn more and get my students involved. And then once you're on the outreach list, you'll get all of the information about the program, and also all the information will be posted on the website. And one of the things that's nice about this is you can pick the pieces of a program that work really well for you and leave what doesn't work. So maybe you just want your students to participate in the industry engagements, but you're not going to have them build challenge solutions. Maybe you're going to have them build challenge solutions, but you want to kind of shape your own problems a little bit. You can, it's a very modular program. I think about it like a giant tinker toy, and teachers and educators and adult advisors and students, youth, can kind of pick off the pieces that work best for them and leave the modules that, that don't fit in with their winter plans.
Okay, then one more quick question. So, the challenges are up or are they coming?
The challenges are up. You can preview the challenges now on the website. And the kind of full detail on all of the challenges will be up early next week. So you can see the cases now on the website, but the case videos and the instructional guides that you'll be using to kind of shape the challenge, or that adults will use. This is something a young person could do independently, but it's really designed to be kind of adult facilitated and youth and centered on youth voice. But you could do it independently if you were a young person who was really excited. And so all of that information will be on the website by early next week. So, and we'll send out a notification to everyone on the email list about that.
So Julia, thank you very much for being here today. Thank you for accepting our innovation challenge and seeing how innovative you can be to present this in 10 minutes or less. We appreciate that.
Definitely the speed round. I'm happy to share these slides with folks after. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.